Eddie Hearn was talking about, you know, last time it was more about the homecoming to Ireland for Katie Taylor as a boxer, whereas this time round it's about, you know, who have I got in that ring tonight, and you know, that's the only thing that she's focused on. So really looking forward to the boxing tonight. It's going to be great. And you know, there's lots of other fighters on the card as well. We've got Gary Cully who's fighting. I forget who he's fighting, but this is his first fight back after basically being stopped by Diego Pacheco. And you know, there's talks of, you know, is that defeat still lingering around in Gary Cully's mind, or has he got over it? He's actually fighting Reece Mould, which is actually one of Leigh Wood's previous opponents. Reece Mould thinks he's got Gary Cully's number, but I think otherwise. Gary Cully is tall at the weight, is long, is rangy. You know, he knows how to pick shots. He's fast, he's explosive, and I just think he's going to be too much for Reece Mould come tonight. So lots of things happening in the boxing scene. It's great to hear that finally, and you know, I'm saying finally, but you know, fights don't happen until they actually happen this day and age. But you know, it sounds like the Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk fight is going to go ahead in February next year. My predictions on that, quite honestly, I think Alexander Usyk has all of the skills required to beat Tyson Fury. And when you look at Tyson Fury's last fight against Francis Ngannou, I mean, yeah, there's talks about maybe Tyson Fury underprepared and stuff, but you can't take away what Francis Ngannou did that night. Okay, what he did that night was absolutely remarkable against the pound for pound king in the heavyweight division. He put him on the canvas and gave him a tough night's work. And you know, there's lots of controversy around whether Tyson Fury should have even got the decision. So you know, it's crazy times in the boxing world at the moment. But Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury is definitely going to be one of those fights to remember, one of those fights to definitely sink your teeth into and enjoy. Super looking forward to it. And yeah, you know, it's I just wanted to hop on here and just chinwag about boxing, because it's something that I'm mega passionate about. Used to do a little bit of boxing myself, and you know, love the training, respect the sport, respect the fighters in the sport, because I have a bit of an understanding of what they go through, and you know how demanding it is on the mind and on the body. You know, so it's an amazing sport. But you know, previous fights that have happened this year, when you think about the Joe Joyce, Zhilei Zhang fights, the first fight, Joe Joyce got stopped by Zhilei Zhang, as you know, with a busted up eye, pretty bad eye, could barely see out of it. And then the second fight came around, and I thought maybe Joe Joyce has got a chance to win in this one, and surprisingly enough, you know, it was a devastating, absolutely devastating knockout by Zhilei Zhang. He set it up perfectly. I think it was a throwaway jab, a throwaway southpaw jab. I think it was actually a throwaway orthodox jab that did the damage. Actually, it was a throwaway orthodox jab with a sort of looping backhand slash right hook type shot that just put Joe Joyce on the canvas, and he made it up. He got up on his feet by 10, but I think the referee had seen enough, and he sort of waved it off, and it was probably a good decision because he was taking significant punishment throughout the fight. And I'm just thinking about all of the sort of heavyweight fights that have happened over the last few years. You know, you've got fights like Vladimir Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua. That was an amazing fight. I think Joshua got put down in the 5th round or something like that, and then came back and put Vladimir Klitschko down a little bit later on in the fight. But that knockdown that Vladimir Klitschko did to Anthony Joshua was absolutely devastating. So if anybody's got any comments about Anthony Joshua's chin, I don't think it's even worth commenting, because that shot would have put most people out for the count, you know. And AJ got back up and, you know, turned the fight around and won the fight, and it was a great fight, and that was really sort of lift off for Anthony Joshua's career.